welcome to more Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta Specialtatin. Today we have more Group 4 cars around Dragon Trail Seaside. And for this one, luckily we don't have that dirty driver. I guess I'll just say Ouser. That's a whole heck of a heap of name there that I don't really know how to pronounce. But I'll just say Ouser. And that was a driver featured in the previous video, Racing Dirty, and then in some previous clips from the PS4 itself without me specialtating of him wrecking me and causing chaos. Luckily, he's not in this one, and that's definitely a good thing, but my driving ain't necessarily all that good. As, like I said in the last one, I ain't necessarily all that good here. I'm decent in this car, but this car and track don't really mix very well for me. But anyway, I don't know what just happened in the back there, but luckily I was just barely ahead of whatever just happened in the back there. So I'll just leave that one alone there. I don't think that was my fault. As far as I know, I was far enough ahead there where I didn't cause anyone to mess up. I did that turn pretty cotton picking good compared to who was behind me there, but whatever. I'm in this general spot now, so I guess no big deal. Nothing I can do at this point, really. So I'll focus my attention on getting ahead here, and it's looking like I am getting ahead slowly. I think I did gain a little bit on the car in front of me through that turn. So that's pretty cotton picking good, and hopefully this race goes pretty cotton picking good and clean. A clean race around here would definitely be enjoyable, that's for sure, folks, that's for sure. And I'm going to need it as clean as I get, because that's a cane of chaos. Clean or dirty or big pack or small pack or no pack, I still ain't necessarily good at it. So I'm probably going to need all the help I can to be able to do anything in this race, but I ain't ruling anything out yet. The drivers around me seem to be clean, so, you know, I'll just run my own lines here and just hope it goes well. That's really about all I can do at this point. Yeah, maybe run a little bit less than my own lines for the time being, because I don't really want to risk anything. The driver directly in front of me is clean, so no big deal there. Just the driver in front of me, not so much historically, folks. Then we'll just have to see. Maybe eventually he'll learn his lesson. I try for my best to give the people the benefit of the doubt, but if somebody does do something blatantly dirty, I'm gonna point it out. But just for that race in general, like, I'll try not to hold grudges, but if somebody does mess up in one race, I'll definitely hold it for that race. But in general, after the race, I'm pretty good about not wrecking people unless they're gonna wreck me, like, obviously. I've had a few times where drivers held grudges for a day or two, but generally it's a driver who's always dirty is always dirty, or a driver's dirty once or twice and then not again. So we'll see, folks. I guess it could go either way for now, but I guess at this point it doesn't really matter all that much, because I need to actually catch them two to even be able to battle with them two to even need to worry about that one of the two there who I would need to worry about. And yeah, I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna do that. In theory, I should be faster than at least one of the two there. I'm confident I'm faster than at least one of the two. I've sold it in quite a few races. I ain't necessarily best with this combination, but I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much, really, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I don't think. But as always, we'll just have to see. And actually, he's racing pretty clean, I guess. He's not really racing dirty. He's not really giving them all that much room, but I mean, that's racing for y'all. Not really giving anybody all that much room ain't really dirty. That's just racing. So, I mean, yeah, Gene Bruno 9 is actually racing relatively clean. Maybe he saw that one other driver in the previous race. I think the the race I sold last time was the first race of the day. This is the last race of the day. So maybe he ended up getting wrecked by that one other dirty driver too, and he realized maybe he tasted his own medicine seeing an actual dirty driver wreck him and not just an annoyed driver. I tend to race people clean until they wreck me. I think that other driver might just race dirty in general, whether others race clean or not. So maybe that's what Bruno needed to learn, to see a really and truly dirty driver and not just an eye for an eye driver. So maybe he has learned his lesson now. It seems like he's racing clean. Hopefully the other driver, Alsher, whatever, I guess I'll say that, not race dirty again too. We'll just have to hope, folks. We'll just have to hope. And I still ain't good at that chicane. I don't really get that chicane. I can use up all of the track there without hitting the wall, but yet it still doesn't seem like it can carry all that much speed out of there. I just don't get it. I ain't really all that bad with chicanes in general. Generally, once I get a pattern, I can do it. But I swear, if this one, I can get a pattern and do that pattern and still get different results. Like, I'll still end up hitting one wall or another more likely than not, or have to slow down more than I thought I would have to avoid a wall. Like, there's times in these cars where I can go through that chicane at like 104 and hit a wall, but yet there's times where I can go at like 108 and make it fine. I don't really get it, but there's still quite a lot of people who don't always get that chicane too. So I think that chicane's just hard for everybody, or for everybody who ain't an alien. But anyway, this ain't the alien pack, but it's still actually good racing between the three of us. And with us three racing, that might end up bringing more in this pack. But it is the final lap, though, so there ain't that much racing to go. So I'd assume it's going to stay just us three, but it's still too early to tell yet. It's getting to the point where it ain't going to be too early to tell for too much longer, but there's still the chicane there, so, and there's still Bruno there too, but he's actually still racing clean. I hope he stays racing clean for the whole race. And yeah, it's just hope. And actually that driver messed up there in about the worst possible position, because I don't like going too wide through here. Luckily he backed up before the chicane itself. I don't even really like going too wide before the turn before the chicane, because that's a narrow section. It's full throttle, but it's still narrow. But nonetheless, I actually got through there pretty picking good, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Bruno. I got the high line here, so I should have the momentum, but yeah, Bruno actually ran a good race there. He didn't mess up, he seemed to race clean, and he didn't really block anybody, so I'll give him credit where credit's due. If he run like that every race, I wouldn't have a problem with how he generally races. I consider him as clean of a driver as anybody else. If he races like that from now on, then fine, whatever. That's good. I hope all the drivers race that cleaner. This race actually went pretty big and well, really. I don't really want to say surprising, because there's a lot of races that do go well, but surprising given the circumstances, I guess so, folks. I guess so. So I hope you all enjoyed this cleaner than expected race, and that there be more in the future. Hopefully clean. Yeehaw!